In this week's channel Messages from the Guides, we talk a little bit about global themes and how everything that you're doing internally is reflected externally. So if you're seeing like a large theme or a large outcome happening in the world, there is a part of you that is reflecting that. So you need to start doing the inner work to cut the root system off so that you're not feeding into what you don't want to see in society. So for those of you that are new to the channel, I'm a light worker that uses automatic writing to channel messages for my guides, and I share their messages here on the channel. So let's get into this week's reading. Acceptance shows itself on many levels. You must learn on an individual level how to accept yourself, your life, and the things you cannot change if you are to see acceptance in the world around you. Everything that is happening outside of you reflects a theme you must heal and resolve on a personal level within yourself. Think of them as overall global themes if you must. If enough people have these themes on a personal level in their lives, it's going to find a way to manifest itself on a larger scale. This is to force you to see the theme so that you know that it's there, so that you may address it. The theme is just an overall category. You must find what in your life fits into that overall category to know what you must address. You might not be participating in how it manifests on a global scale, but how it manifests in your life is like a root system for a plant, still feeding water and nutrients to the tree. So you must cut off the root to help kill off the bigger version of the problem. This means coming into awareness and doing the work. If on a global level you are seeing division, then you must ask yourself how you are divided internally. If you see war, what in you is not accepting or allowing things to be how they are naturally? What are you fighting and trying to control that is not yours to control? Recognize what is happening within that might need healed and has been adding to the collective that you don't want to see. It's not necessarily about taking on the big things alone, but fixing your part and bringing awareness to it so that others can do the same. If enough people cut off their root system, the size and strength of the global problem loses its power, loses its foundation, becomes unsteady. It's like pulling the blinders off, seeing the truth and saying no to participating in something that is not in alignment for where you are and what you want moving forward. This is where you have control, and this is how you can utilize the things happening in the world that you don't like. It's an opportunity and a spotlight showing you where you can do your part to lessen the strength of the darkness by removing it from the part you have access and control over. You just need to see what the themes are to know what to address. The themes are important as they give you insight into the problem. It also allows you to see it in others and how it might show up in those interactions. Though you can't control others or dictate what they need to heal or work on, it brings you to an understanding of what they are going through so that you can heal anything attached to your relationship or interaction that might be causing what you see. This is not to say everything that is happening outside of you is your fault or responsibility to fix. It's to remind you that working on yourself, healing what is coming up, will have an impact on the world around you. Work always starts from within and works its way out. The best way for you to fix the outside world, if you're not pulled to be an activist, an inventor, or you don't have the finances to support what others are doing, is to do the inner work to help lessen the issues you see from your end. It's a way to do your part from the sidelines, so to speak, instead of in the trenches if that's not where you want to be or are called to. You never have to feel bad about how you help. It's about your intentions, your vibration, and not adding to the darkness. Feeling guilty for not participating in things the way others might expect is lowering your vibration, as guilt is on the lower end of the scale. This is why the inner work is so important. You must release the need for approval from others by learning to love yourself first, then no one can pull you into those lower vibrations. This allows you to hold the light and hold the higher vibrations. This is you doing your part. It's all connected, even if you don't see it. Your actions, your view, your vibration adds into the collective and creates the average. This is where your ability to understand and know what you are doing helps raise the average, helps hold the frequency, and adjust the collective just by doing your part. It's not about appeasing others who might not understand all the inner workings or the source of the problem. It's okay if they are focused on the part that makes sense for them and are pushing that agenda to find those in alignment with that type of work. You focus on your part and what you are drawn to, and together all efforts create balance to complete the job. One is not better or more important than the other. It's about finding your gifts, using your strengths, and doing what you came here to do. It's okay if it doesn't look the same as others, if it all gets the same results it's meant to achieve. It's not about appeasing others or falling into obligations, expectations, or boxes others want you to be in. Everyone has free will and can determine what works and what doesn't work for them. Not everyone is wired the same or feel drawn or enjoy the same things. Acceptance is learning to understand and respect that and work with it, not against it. Acceptance does not mean separation. It means finding a way to come together with the differences instead of fighting them. Think of it this way. The earth has land and it has water. They are vastly different in the types of life they sustain and the role that they play. But you must have both for the planet to survive and for things to work. You wouldn't try to change all the water to become land or all the land to be underwater. Instead, you come from acceptance that despite how different they both are, they serve a purpose, have value, and are needed for the earth to work properly. This is how acceptance works. You see the differences bring their own value, and in working with those differences, you can come together to create the balance and a better outcome. It's the intentions that matter. If you come from love and connection, you will find how the pieces fit together to build that in the end results. The world is built on duality. Everything has two polar sides, left, right, love, fear, good, bad. Everything lands 2 degrees on these scales. This creates variety or flavors to the world that you live in. It allows you to have experiences, learn lessons, and grow. It allows you to evolve and to figure out where you stand and what feels correct and experience different outcomes. As we said, they are just different degrees, not better or worse, just an opportunity for experiences and growth. This is why you must come from acceptance. Everyone is on a different path and learns in different ways. What might have been a bad experience for you might be the catalyst for growth for another. The point is, when you come from acceptance, you acknowledge that there is a bigger picture that you don't fully understand or see how it goes together. This allows the individual journey to happen how it needs to for the lessons and experiences needed to get to the next stage or junction point. This goes for self-acceptance as well. Though you might cringe looking back at your past now through a different lens, those events and scenarios got you to the point you are currently. You might as well thank the younger version of you that was willing to learn, adapt, and grow. Accept your story needed to unfold the way that it did for your personal growth and to get you to where you are today. Once you look at it from this point of view, it's easier to come from understanding, acceptance, and love for yourself, and compassion for others who are just doing the same thing. If everyone gave each other grace, the world would be a much different place to live in. But it all starts with you. Where are you struggling with acceptance, and how do you plan to address it? Thank you, and I will see you next week.